Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Sacred Mysteries Worldwide channel. I'm your host, Reverend Mignon Grayson, and you are in the School of Spiritual Learning. Today, we have a special edition for everyone to enjoy. I'm here with two beautiful goddesses that I love very much, and we are friends. We work together. We know each other well, and they're my spiritual sisters. And they are extraordinary and give so much to their communities in terms of healing, in terms of wisdom, in terms of just plain old love. And they're also the part of the members of the Spiritual Mamas. We are the Spiritual Mamas, and we share our collective wisdom as a group in different spaces like Clubhouse and Facebook, and wherever we go, we come together and we collectively share our wisdom, our knowledge, and our experience. But anyway, I wanted to do this edition since we're closing out this year of 2021. And what we're going to talk about also applies to any year, but we're talking about how we close out the year and bring in the new year spiritually, emotionally. What do we do to support ourselves as the year ends? Because a year, the year ending brings up so many things for people. We start to look back at what we've done and and look forward as to what we want to do. And there are some things that can help you, just move yourself, in a very positive and healthy way and support yourself into the end of the year and into the beginning of the new year. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm here with Allison Rozzel and Lady Magenta, and we're going to get things started with Allison letting us know. Allison, please tell us what it is that you do, who you are, what you do. Give it to us.
Okay. Well, my name is Allison Rozzel. I am an energy, wellness, and empowerment coach for Black women and women of color. I'm also a certified Usui Reiki master healer and teacher at the Sacred Pathway Academy, which is my academy, where I am the CEO, founder, and head mistress. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy for this conversation. I've been waiting for it all day long, so I'm ready to get it popping.
Let's get it popping. All right. Okay, Lady Magenta, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
My name is Lady Magenta, also known as Oyayi Wolf. I am a priestess of Oya, initiated over 30 plus years. I am a spiritualist, Palera, and a mother and a grandmother. I mean, and a godmother. Yes. I'm a godmother. Most importantly, I'm a godmother.
She's my godmother too.
Spiritual advisor, intuitive reader. The list could be endless, but the most important thing is that I am the daughter of Oya, and in the Lukumi tradition. And through her, I have been given the many gifts of spiritualism. And that's who Lady Magenta is.
Ashe. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, ladies, for introducing yourselves. For those who don't know me, I'm Reverend Mignon Grayson. I am an interfaith, interspiritual, indigenous faith minister. I support people on their spiritual journey, those who are just starting, who need some insight and some support, those who are on an eclectic kind of path that need guidance and support, and those who follow the indigenous faith that also need support in that way. I am what they call an Orisha in the Lukumi Orisha tradition. I have went through different ceremonies and things like that and walked the path for 30 some odd years. And I am also an initiate of the Palo tradition, and all around spiritual mama. I just like to, support people on their path, and I do it in many different ways through coaching, through books, writing books, and I also have this channel. So let's get started. We're going to talk about some ways in which we can support ourselves. You can support yourselves, those who are listening, as we end up the year ending and opening. It has an energy to it. The new year coming in, the old year going out, it has a certain energy around it, a year of ending, closings, and the energy of new beginnings. So there's a lot to take advantage of during this time. And just for how would you say, clarity's sake, or to be specific, we're talking about the Gregorian New Year, which is the one followed all over around the world, January 1st to December 31st. Now that's the Gregorian, is recognized around the world, but there are also opportunities for other types of New Years. There's the Astrology New Year, which starts when Aries starts, which is around April 21st. There's also the Chinese New Year, which is in February. Yoruba land in Nigeria, that starts in April. And there's the Hebrew New Year, starts in September. And then there's your personal New Year, which is your birthday. Every year when your birthday comes, that's a new turn around the sun, cycle around the sun. So all of these are opportunities for endings and beginnings, but this is a huge one recognized by the world. So in and of itself, it has specific, powerful collective energy. We all in agreement that we in and out of year and going into a new year. So with that in mind, it has its own energy plus a collective energy of all of us around the planet. So we're going to get down and talk about some stuff here that's going to help get us through this energy and support us beginning the new year. Allison.
Yes.
Yes. Can you give us some of the things that we should consider as we are closing out, as we're coming to the end of the year and going into the new year? What do you think people should keep in mind?
Great question. So for me, what I personally teach is allowing yourself to, if you're one of these people who you set goals or, do your New Year's resolution, because I did like this whole video about doing resolutions and what the actual meaning of a resolution is, and that we kind of treat it like a birthday wish, but actually the actual definition for a resolution is a firm decision. It's not a haphazard thing. It's a firm decision.
Yes.
So the question then becomes, if you're making these goals at the beginning of the year or at the end of a year going into the new year, if you're making these goals, is it really a firm decision, or is it coming from a place of emotion? Mm-hmm. Maybe coming from a place of, I'm looking on Instagram and I see, oh, so-and-so has a brand new car. So now I got to work my butt off to try to have the same damn car or a better car, or, so-and-so got a man. They did a vacation. They did this, they did that. And we put all that pressure on ourselves. And then we start creating these resolutions based off of an emotional impulse, rather than really looking at, what do I really want to do? Mm-hmm. How do I really want to feel? That's the big one. Not so much of what do I want to do, but how do I want to feel? Mm-hmm. So taking the energy of the current year, looking at what did I do, starting with things like our wins. Where did you win? Where did you have something really good happen for you, or that you did? Maybe, you had said, I don't know, I'm gonna get up early and take a walk for 20 minutes every morning. And, maybe you didn't do it every morning, but you did it every other morning. That's still a win. That's more than what you started with when you weren't doing anything but hitting the snooze button. Mm-hmm. So celebrate your wins, and taking it from that energy to be able to shift into the new year, I think is really important. But I'm curious to see what you all think about that.
Mm-hmm. I love what you said.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. In my case, the ending of last year was really almost life and death, because I had COVID. Mm. And I had gotten COVID right before the Christmas holiday. Mm. And so the whole house, because I have a grandmother who's 93, and I had an infant, a newborn. So the whole house was in fear for our lives. And when the new year came, right before the new year, I ended up in the hospital on a cardiac ward, and my grandmother ended up in the hospital 2 floors above me. And New Year's Eve meant absolutely nothing to me because all I wanted to do was live. Yeah. And all I wanted was for my grandmother to live. And the doctors the nurses like, well, don't you want to go home for New Year's Day? We're trying to, they're trying to rush me out of there so I could be home. And I'm like, no, I want to be well. It makes no sense for me to go home just to be home for New Year's Day, just to say that I'm home. And I end up back here on January 3rd.
Right.
So the things that I would have normally probably done in closing out the year, my year was praying. At the end of that year, it was just praying that we would live, that we could survive this horrible disease, illness, or viral. And even after, and I was released on January 2nd, and still too weak to perform or do anything. And it took 3-4 months. I was a long hauler, and it took 4 months for me to even just have enough energy to walk for any long period of time. So half of my year this year, was spent just trying to breathe, basically. And somewhere in my conscious desire or non-desire, I decided, okay, I can't continue this way. And then I decided to start a weight loss journey, which just came about. Like, it wasn't, every year, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it just came about. And it's something that I stuck with for that second half of the year. But it was very organic. And that's the key. When you start to feel physically well, you start to feel mentally well. I feel that I'm a little bit more equipped to deal with it because one part of me that was holding me down is not. So I'm going into the year 2022 again with another organic process, but it's definitely going to be a year of transformation. And it's definitely going to be a year where I choose to be healthy and I choose to walk in a certain path and work towards that. But I'm not putting any unnecessary mental pressure on myself to compete with the world.
Yeah.
And just move forward and in an organic process. However it unfolds, I have goal posts or things that I would like to do. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Right. But what it also did is it totally reinforced my faith in, in what I have and who I have behind me.
Let's take a pause for a moment.
Okay.
I want to go back because y'all said some heavy duty stuff. Okay. I just want to say thank Olodumare, Orisha, ancestors, that you and your family made it through all of that. Okay. Yes. That is a blessing in and of itself. And as your friend and as someone who loves you and your grandma and your whole family, I'm just so glad that you all made it through. That is a feat to have so much going on with the family at the same time, and you're worried about grandma and yourself. But look at the revelation. Look how you took that with experience and took the essence of it, because being how you wanted to feel, what you wanted to do to make yourself feel better was a decision.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a pressurized decision, but it was a decision. And now that you've done that, you can do it again and again. And now you've taken that. Now look what you're doing. And then what Allison was saying about how do you want to feel?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to feel?
How you want to feel?
How you want to feel? Bringing about how you want to feel is the most important thing about your life walk. What do you want your life? You want it to feel a certain way.
Right.
And that's it. With that being the focus, then the journey is a much different one. It's a much more fulfilling one. It's a much more, like you said, that pressure of what society tells you to achieve is now off you. Now it's just about achieving what you want to feel, how you want to feel. Because a lot of people are, we're conditioned to go after the car, the vacation, the blah, blah, blah. And we all like that stuff. I'm not throwing that out. But it's about how they make you feel, how you want to feel, what you think they're going to make you feel when you get them. But in essence, that's not it. It's more of the values, the feelings, the emotions that are important. So thank you for sharing that. I just had to take a moment for that. Whew.
I want to just add something because both of you are just saying things that are just like, it's just giving me the shimmy, just yes. So I just got the feels. But first of all, let me just say, I second what you said, Mignon, to Lady Magenta. So incredibly glad and blessed to know you and that you're here with us, because you are such a blessing to me in my life. So I am so glad to know that you are here. I'm glad to know you. So I am super grateful that everything turned out okay for you and your family. So I don't want to get emotional, so let me switch to what my original point was. Because I'm a crybaby. So when going back to what Lady Magenta was saying about her shifting into, having that organic moment of wanting to take care of her health. Now that she had this, she wants to now be more intentional with how she treats her temple. So that does go back to what I was saying about the firm decision, even though it was made because you had this like really big thing going on, but that was the firm decision that you made organically, but you made it. And then it also goes back to talking about how you want to feel. It's more of shifting you from the human doing into the human being again, where you can just be, because we are so programmed to do that hyper masculine energy of always just doing and doing and doing. And, some of us, that have like Virgo rising, we're planning everything and telling on myself. But then you have to make sure that you are allowing that divine feminine to come through, so that way you are just being, and you are in the mode of receptivity instead of always giving so much of yourself and doing and trying to accomplish these lofty things that, like we said before, may not even really be for you, but you're trying to do it. So I just wanted to touch on that, because that's huge. That's huge.
So huge. The ceremonies, the procedures, the things that you started to say, Kathleen, that you do in order to get prepared for the ending of the year.
Well, one thing I found is sometimes if we have clutter in our lives, it definitely affects the balance of your mental state. And I speak from experience. And so I just had my kitchen painted. So there was a whole lot of clutter going on. And it was like that for the last 3-4 weeks. And it just, I couldn't stand it anymore. And last week, again, it's that organic, conscious decision. I just went in the kitchen and sectioned out, take one section at a time to bring order. And the house feels lighter. There's order. And when there's order, you can think. You can breathe. And it all comes back to breathing. It's about clearing. It's about clearing. And truthfully, honestly, clearing your physical space helps clear your mental space. There's no one that can't tell me that can't be. Fabuloso works wonders. I'm just putting that out there. Pine Sol is another good cleaner for cleaning your floors or putting some in a bottle and just spritzing around the house, because pine is an evergreen. And evergreen withstands all seasons.
Yes, right.
It stays. It lives through all seasons, through the heat, through the spring, through the cold. It maintains, but it also repels negativity. So if you spritz some Pine Sol around your house or mop your floors with some Pine Sol, you're shifting that negative energy out the door. You're sweeping it out the door. Basil, make you a nice, you can either boil it or you can, how do you shred the leaves and make like a bath or like a floor wash. Basil is also very good. Spritz around the house. Basil, mint, any kind of peppermint, and then you have essential oils, which Allison can speak of. Lemongrass. I love it.
That was the oil I was about to talk about.
Lemongrass. There you go.
So basically, do that, tackle the clutter, start to organize, and then start to do a particular type of cleaning to get out certain energies and lift energies. Is some of the methods that you utilize in the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, and for us, in terms of being an initiate in the Lukumi tradition, and I've done it for many years, is taking your Orishas, refreshing them, refreshing your Egun, refreshing your ancestors, cleaning them, cleaning up the dust, the cobwebs, or whatever is there, removing old offerings, candies, and whatever, and putting fresh fruit to them, putting fresh liquor to them, and fresh water, just kind of opening up, and most important is doing a real good incense clean out, with sage. And then you would do it with sage to just, all around your house. And then after you do the sage, you would do something that smells really nice and uplifting and flowery, or, some other kind of, something to counteract the sage, or something that's just really, uplifting, and after you get rid of all of that heaviness and move it out the house, just uplifting it with something that smells really good, or fruity, or citrus, whatever it is that your spirit feels that it needs to just lift you up and carry you on, carry you out. But those are some of the things you could do just to uplift your house. It's not something that's set in stone. It's what your spirit tells you
Mm-hmm.
you should do.
Mm-hmm.
It's what your spirit tells you. You know, your spirit might tell you to clean your house with salt,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great, great cleanser.
Mm-hmm.
Sprinkle salt all around the house and
Mm-hmm.
sweep it out the door.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great way to sweep away and pick up all of the negativity and to sweep, and sweep it right on out the door.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just sweep all that negativity right out the door. Take a coconut, kick it around the house,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and break it outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are just a couple of things.
Yeah, I used to do very similar things too. I've kind of minimized my whole process as well. I used to do this floor wash, go start from the farthest room in the house and make your way to the front door and send all the negative energy out. Make sure you get every corner, because the corner is supposed to be where energy gets trapped. Then you do, that would be, what is it, counterclockwise out the door, and then clockwise.
Yeah, no, you started the back and worked your way to the front, or you started the front or worked your way to the back. I don't know, but you get tired. You really do. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with everybody. You get tired. Okay. So sometimes you just do the bare minimum.
Yeah. And that's
whatever that. Yeah.
That's the main thing, because you don't want to stress yourself out bringing in the new year. I used to stress myself out bringing in the new year, making sure every piece of laundry was done, every corner piece of dust was cleaned out, everything was shiny, and I'm so tired. I'm not
exhausted.
So,
what about those people who won't let nobody in their house until a man walked through the door?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I never used that one. I was like,
might be something to it.
Right. Listen, find out that why. Let me know.
Right.
Let all of us know. I'm gonna make my grandson go outside and come in and say, "Listen, you walk in."
Yeah, so getting back to the whole cleaning and everything like that, there's different methods, but the whole thing is to just uplift the vibe, clean, uplift, and bring in the good.
Yeah.
So yes, you can use, and basically every, like the herbs that Lady Magenta mentioned, there's usually an essential oil that's in that same, so like basil is huge. But lemongrass mixed with some eucalyptus can really clean and clear. I actually did that. I blended that the other day and just diffused for most of the day. And it just brought an energy into the space that was just so clear and just felt so good. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be doing this a little more often because I need this. Yeah. Using those essential oils. Just like I said, everything Lady Magenta said, spot on. But I would also submit that another bit of clutter that I always tend to teach about is digital clutter. Cleaning out your digital clutter, getting rid of emails that you're not going to read and don't need no more. Go through and delete.
Oh my God, that's too long.
Yeah, digital clutter, cleaning off your hard drive of things that you don't need, like that ebook that you signed up to get that you're not going to read. Just go on and delete it and get rid of it.
Oh, yeah.
Going through your social media, if you want to delete like that guy that screwed you over, and for whatever reason you're still following him, loose it and let it go, so that way the right guy can find his way to you. Let's see. So you just want to go through and do like a digital cleanse as well as the physical cleanse.
I like that digital cleanse.
Yeah, do a digital cleanse, and then that way, you can make room for that email that comes through of that person that says, I'm gonna pay you $10,000 to talk to me, for an hour.
Yeah, and unsubscribe from all those.
Yes.
That's a big one for me because I miss important emails because of all this excess stuff coming in. Yeah.
Well, if you are into energy clearing and Reiki, then you can go through and use the Reiki symbols to clear your home. You know, and that's something that I often teach as well, is how to use Reiki to go through and do a clearing and cleansing of your energy. A good feng shui to your home is also good, going through and rearranging things, putting things, you know, maybe you want to do like a little switcheroo. That's something I've been doing that before I even knew what feng shui was. I will rearrange my whole house. My son came home and he was like, yeah, you really just, yeah. So I'll rearrange my whole house and make it look like a whole new house. I'm like, hey, if I can't get a new house, then I'm just going to make this look like a new house. And I just renew the energy.
In your existing house. That's totally true. You can definitely move in your house. Right. And it confuses those negative spirits because when they were sent to you, and they knew the layout of the original layout. And if you move everything around, it confuses them.
Yeah.
I learned that. On a serious note, I think that, and like you said, digital cleaning and stuff like that. I think we also need to be conscious of the toxicity or the toxic people who are in our lives, who serve no purpose but to bring us down. And when you're thinking about clearing clutter and you're thinking about clearing things that no longer suit you, unfortunately, it could be friends. It could be family.
It's true.
And anybody who doesn't, and everybody doesn't have to support the path that you're on.
That's right.
They don't have to support it. But anybody who doesn't respect it,
there you go,
which is key. And anybody who doesn't respect it, you can keep them at a distance. And that's a part of clearing out the clutter and clearing out the noise and clearing out the conversations that are constantly going on, that you hear these people in your head telling you every other day, oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You know, you don't need that kind of, you don't need that kind of negativity or toxicity in your life. And so you just kind of clear that clutter of toxic individuals who no longer serve a purpose in terms of your purpose.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yes.
Because everybody doesn't understand your journey.
No. And they don't have to.
And that's key. They don't have to, because your journey is a personal journey and it's only for you. It's not to bring everybody else along. Like, come along. No. Your journey is your journey. And if they don't understand it, at least respect it. And if they can't respect it, then you need to put some distance from them. And that's also a process of clearing out.
It is.
Emotional clutter.
There you go.
Yes. I say a lot of times those people come around just so they can unload their stuff onto you, and they feel so much better after they've talked to you. And then you're like, oh, all right, I'm glad I'm off the phone with that person. So removing that kind of clutter, people clutter, emotional connections that no longer are good for you. You have to be willing to do healthy for you.
Those boundaries. Because, you know, some people you may not be able to actually cut. Like if they're family, you may not be able to like cut them completely. However, you can set a strong boundary to where there's a respect and understanding that this is the line. And if you cross it, consequences and repercussions. Just
Right.
the way it goes.
Exactly. Like, I know that's your problem, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it moving.
And she said it just like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure. She's like, I said what I said.
Exactly. But I wanted to also kind of bring into the fold that as we hit the Gregorian New Year, the December 31st going into the 1st, we're in the Northeast, in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in winter time. So we've already, things have started to withdraw, get a little slower because the weather's colder in the Northeast. And so the energy is already set up for you to kind of slow it down and contemplate and think about these things that we're talking about, emotional clutter, digital clutter, house clutter, people clutter, and also how you're going to go about, elevating the energy around you in your home and in your life, and the steps that you're going to do. So, just utilize that energy, welcome the slowness, welcome the times to be still, to tap in, to get in touch with who you are and what we were talking earlier about. How do you want to feel? So going into this new year, get in touch with that by using this slower energy where all of nature is kind of withdrawing in. Around here, the squirrels done got their nuts and they done gone into their holes, and to just chill out for the winter time and do that rejuvenation. This is a time of regeneration, rebirth, and as we go into the new year. So it's a great time, to implement a lot of the stuff that we're talking about.
It is a great time. And it is a great time. And I think it's also key that people understand or feel that, okay, December 31st, we're going to do all these things to clear and clean and prepare for the new year. And, starting January 1st, it doesn't have to start January 1st.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It can start January 31st.
Right.
It can start February 28th. It could start March. It could be April. Mm-hmm. The fact that it doesn't happen in January or February or March doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's taking, again, I keep saying this, that organic approach. Mm-hmm. It's a mindset. Mm-hmm. And not put pressure on yourself to feel that everything has to start in January, or everything has to start on Monday. Mm-hmm. It can start on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Some people like Wednesday. It can start on a Wednesday. Thursday might be your day. Friday. Yeah. Whenever it feels right to you, is the time to start. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's the time to think about it. Mm-hmm. You think about it and then you do it. Yes. But the key takeaway is don't put pressure on yourself to start it on day 1 of January 1. Mm-hmm. You do what you can do. Mm-hmm. Even if you can't do everything by December 31st, that don't mean that you shouldn't do it at all. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
That doesn't mean that the world is going to stop and your year is going to start off terrible because you couldn't get your house clean and find pine sol or fabuloso, or you couldn't get the basil, or you couldn't cut you couldn't get the oils and you didn't have it. And here's December 31st is the end of the year, and January 1st, my house is still looking the way that it was looking on December 25th.
Mm-hmm. Let all that go. Let it go.
Let it go.
The opportunity is
okay.
Yes, you haven't missed the opportunity. You haven't missed the boat.
Last year, when I was in the hospital, my house looked a mess on December 31st. On December 2nd, it was looking even crazier. On January 2nd, it was looking even crazier. By January 15th, it was still crazy. Mm-hmm. It didn't start to look like something, maybe in March, April, or whenever. So it could happen at any point in time.
Yeah.
I just want people to understand that, or feel that, yes, we do all these things at the end of the year so that to prepare ourselves for the new year. But even if you can't get to all of it or none of it,
talk about it.
Okay, it will come. You will get there.
You will.
It could be a slow, long, drawn out process, but let it be organic. Let it come when the spirit hits you.
Right.
Let it come, you know, and just go with the ebb and the flow. But I'm going to enjoy myself as I go along the process. It will happen as it happens. I'm not putting myself under any pressure to have it done by a certain date. And that's the only thing that I'm trying to get across.
The main thing, in my opinion, is to always start and end your day with trying to achieve the feeling that you want to feel each and every day, and not stressing out about this or that and these deadlines and that. So bringing in the year, whenever you bring in the year, make sure it's feeling the way you want to feel, because that's the way you want your whole year to play out in the good feels.
Now, I will say this. I will preface this. The deadlines are good if it's bringing you money.
This kind of, I always think about this, especially when like this time of year and people are having vision board parties and, you know, putting together their vision boards, which is fun. And I love doing vision boards. But I remember I was watching on Netflix. I love watching like documentaries and stuff. So I was watching the documentary on Quincy Jones. And so one thing that I really admired about him is when he was talking about his creative process when he was doing music. So he would write the songs and put the music together. And he said, I always put something together, but it's kind of like saying it's not completed. It's not finished. He was like, because I leave room for the Lord to show up in my music. And I'm like, yes. So you're leaving room for that co-creative dance with spirit and allowing yourself to be able to have those parts filled in by the divine rather than you trying to do it. So when he said that, light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, you know what? That is how you are supposed to do this thing called life.
That's right.
You can plan it. You can say, okay, I want this to happen. And yes, we can manifest. We can manifest the hell out of some stuff. We really can. But at the end of the day, I want what is for my highest good. So if I'm asking for something, I'm leaving room for it to be blessed, because if I can get better, if better is intended for me rather than what I asked for, I'll take the better.
That's right.
I'm fine. I don't mind waiting if the better. So if I ask for 1 million, but Spirit got me 10 million, I'll wait for that 10 million.
That's right.
I will. It's fine. But I just, that's, you know, because as Lady Magenta was talking and you know, talking about the flow and making it organic, I just, again, taking it out of that energy of constantly doing, trying to make stuff happen. We have got to get out of the mode of trying to make things happen and surrender. If 2020 taught us nothing else, surrender. Because we were all in some way or another forced to surrender in 2020. So if nothing else, that energy should be carrying forth for us to understand that we have control over such a small amount of things in our life.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than us stressing so much over stuff we have no control over, leave room for the divine to show up and bless it.
I love that.
And live your life.
I love what you both have said in terms of how to bring this new year in, and let the old year out. And I think for me, what's coming out of this conversation is, flowing into the new year, and allowing the divine room to be in this year with you to create the life you desire. Yeah.
Makes me think of that, like, can you woo woo woo? Can you woo woo woo?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so beautiful. So yeah, this is basically how to flow into the new year. That's what this title's gonna be, because that's what
flowing into the new year.
How to get into your flow into the new year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it.
Don't stress yourself.
Because
everybody starts stressing. What? The top 10 resolutions for the new year.
Yeah.
We have none. My New Year's resolution is I want to live.
Yes.
Unapologetically, I want to live.
Unapologetically, yes. Live, be who you are in your truest essence of self.
Exactly.
With no holds back. So is there anything else that you had on your minds that you wanted to say in this conversation?
And just letting them know that the spiritual mamas are here.
The spiritual mamas are here. More to come.
We are here and we're on the move.
We're here and on the move.
We are here and on the move.
All right.
Come along with us. We'll bring you along. We'll empower you. We'll inspire you. We enlighten you. And a few other things.
Yeah. I love that. Yes.
Yes.
Now with the oils, I know you do doTERRA oil. So talk about how people can get your oils.
Well, if they reach out to me, I can, what I would prefer is to sit down and talk to them about what their needs are. Because there's no need in ordering an oil that you really don't need. Finding out what is it, again, how you want to feel. What are you trying to accomplish with the oils? Because you can use them for so much as far as your holistic health is concerned. Because some people think about just aromatherapy, but they don't understand that you can also use it on your body and in your body. Some of them can go in your body that you can take. So just contact me. We can sit down and have a nice little powwow via Zoom, and we can talk about whatever your needs are for doTERRA products.
Allison has a lot of wonderful things going on in addition, which we talked about at the beginning of the video. All of her contact information will be in the description, so you can reach out to her for everything that she got going on. Master healer, master teacher, and coach, and everything that she does. She's wonderful at everything she does. So you want to connect with Allison.
Thank you. I do what I can.
Lady Magenta, you are one of the most awesome readers, gifted, psychic, priestess, godmother. Tell people how they can reach out to you.
Well, they can reach out to me on Instagram
for reading.
Working on a writing class called Something Said, and tapping into your spiritual guides within. Soon to come.
That sounds
soon to come. I am also a creative writer, a poet. And so, again, it's part of my year of transformation, putting myself out there, and kind of marrying the spiritual part of me along with the creative writing aspect. So that is soon to come. But I can be reached at MagentaNaEbili at gmail.com.
Well, this has been an absolutely awesome conversation. Lots of jewels have been given out here. So I thank you both for joining me. And I hope that those of you who are watching have had your notebooks out and got a lot of these jewels that were mentioned in today to help to take you into this new year. I thank you both for being with me tonight. I surely appreciate it.
It's always a great time when the spiritual mamas get together.
It is.
And just kind of chop it up.
Yes.
And I look forward to some more.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to have some more get-togethers like this on this channel. So look out for it, y'all. Click like if you like the video. Subscribe, share to those who you think would benefit from what you've heard, what you've seen today with the spiritual mamas talking about flowing into the new year.